Hi there, I hope you're all doing good. We're going to talk about cameras today. Pretty normal cameras. Keep in mind that everything we see through is through a camera. This scene, for example, we see through the top Y camera. The Y-axis is the one which in Maya is the up axis, and that means I'll look at the scene from the very top. And as you know, we can use these kind of layouts. I look at the scene from the front, from the side, and through the perspective window. Now let's have a look at the camera, which actually we're looking through now. Perspective camera. It's hidden here, but of course it works. It's just hidden because we should not pick it randomly or by coincidence. So when we click on the perspective icon here in the outliner, by the way, is here. You just toggle this icon in this view, and here is the attribute editor. And the crucial thing here about the camera is the focal length. It's by default set to 35, and I guess that's millimeters, and it works together with the film gate and the aperture, etc. But this is the crucial number we should concentrate on: 35 millimeters. I created a scene, and maybe you're interested in how I created the scene just briefly. It's a mesh scene because I want lots of objects in the scene, and the mesh network consists of the main mesh node, a color node which gives them colors, and a random node which places them randomly on the floor. It has a mesh ID because I have three objects here in the scene, and three different kinds of objects. They're all mesh objects, of course. Here is the distribute node. I distribute them on a grid with a distance of 5, 5, 5, and this is the grid size in Z, and I can change this, of course, and change the random seed so the distribution is different, and etc. So that's basically it. I just love to use mesh in order to create scenes with lots of things, and when you talk about cameras, lots of things are always nice. Well, there are fancy things about cameras, but we're going to talk about a basic thing, which is basically the focal length for the camera. If you're interested in other specialities of cameras, check out previous tutorials I did. This one, for example, is the 360-degree camera. Let's just briefly roll this tutorial tape. You find it easily by searching my channel. That's a previous tutorial. I think I did this in November in 2017. And here's another one in case you're interested in stereo cameras, which is different from the VR camera, obviously. That's a tutorial in German language, how I started this channel. So you find that under stereo camera with a K. And basically this is the 3D look through the camera, the stereo look, which you can appreciate using goggles. There are other tutorials on my channel about depth of field, which is a very often used effect in 3D computer animation. So, well, it's all there. Let's go back to this scene and create 3 cameras. Okay, how do we create cameras? There are different ways. I suggest you go to Create, Cameras, and Camera. Just use the default, and the camera places itself in the center of the scene. It's here in the outliner. It's called Camera 1. If you press the key G, which means, I guess, go, you repeat the last command, meaning you create the same. You do the same thing again. You create a camera. It's called Camera 2 now. I press G again, and now I have 3 cameras, and that's what I want to have. Okay, let's look through the scene, and I use this window for that, through the camera number 1. You press and hold the space bar you go to Panels, Perspective, and choose the camera number 1. You could also go to Panels and then choose the camera here. So we're currently looking through the camera number 1, and the camera number 1 sees this. So let's leave it like this, and in order to really leave it and not touch it, we're going to go to View and lock that camera. So we're locking camera number 1. So if we want to move it, no way to move it. Okay, let's go to camera number 2. And camera number 2 can be placed, for example, here, down here. Same procedure, perspective, now camera 2. Of course, they have the same view now, but now we change the focal length to, say, 100, which is a tele lens. And that's what you see now. And if you go to, well, raise the value to 150, being so close to the objects, all in the center of that scene, that's what you have. Now, let's go to camera number 3. And the camera number 3, we can place it here. Panels, Perspective, camera 3. So, same view as this, with the focal length of 35. Now we reduce this to 10. And now we see this warped image here of the scene. Just to compare the 3 scenes, this is the wide angle, 10 degrees. We can even lower this to, say, 2 degrees, and that's what we get then. Or 20 degrees, which is sort of in the middle. And down here we have the ordinary 35mm camera here. We need to select it, select the camera, so it's 35mm. And down here we have the telelens with select camera with 150mm, so to say. We can now group all the cameras. Control G, that is. Now they're all sitting in one group, and then we can move the group up like this. So I'm moving all the cameras up, and I move the cameras back, and I tilt the cameras, 3 cameras in one pack, all at the same position, down. So that's what I see now. And now I want to hide the camera view here. So I go to Show and select the cameras. Don't want to see cameras here. Don't want to see cameras here. And don't want to see cameras here. But I want to see the cameras right here in our ordinary perspective window. So, well, this is the scene through camera 3, the wide angle camera. This is the scene through the normal camera with 35, and this is the scene through the telelens. Of course, this affects the depth of field and many other things, and if you do modeling, for example, with a focal length of 150, that doesn't really make sense. So the 35mm is really a good choice for a start, but just keep in mind you have all the options to change that camera. Enjoy working with cameras, and keep in mind they're all very different and they give you a totally different aspect of the scene.